All right, let's get this party started. Let's do this. Camera, audio, yeah, it's good, right? Yeah, all right, good. I'm a little bit late today. I'm sorry for that, guys. I'm running around like a crazy man. By the way, if I look different, it's because I'm 2 shades darker. That's what happens when you go to 2 shows in a row on the weekend, Saturday and then Sunday, and you forget to put your sun tan, some screen, I don't know, some screen lotion or whatever. Yeah, I'm all burnt up. I'm probably gonna peel like crazy, but I got to see a bunch of electric cars on Saturday, and then a bunch of BWs on Sunday, right? And then I came back over here, and then I totally passed out for about 12 hours, and then woke up this morning and been running around like crazy trying to do a lot of stuff. Mostly just, figure out what hasn't been shipped. A bunch of you guys have been ordering those high power modules, and then a bunch of the original modules, the regular ones, right? You guys are building a lot of stuff. It's kind of scary. You guys are, wow, it's crazy. But anyways, I'm back here. We're live. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Where are you guys from? Where is everybody from tonight? I wanted to do it earlier today. I try to do it, but it's usually I'm even later today. I couldn't do it. I was trying to go like at least 2 hours earlier today for you back east folks. That it's just super late for you guys when I come around. So yeah, like Nelson Pagan here is from Orlando, Florida. 11:15 p.m. right now, 11:17. So yeah, that's late. At that time, I'm like looking to go to bed. Dallas, Texas. DDIX 40 X-Man. Howdy from Hot Phoenix. 104 today, 110 Wednesday. Yes, we're melting in California too. Oh my God, it's like, we're melting. It's terrible. I'm really uncomfortable in this room. There is one AC thing there, but the rest of the house gets cold, and here it just gets okay, kind of cool. So I think what I have to go and do is like kind of block some of the air that goes to that side. It's a big main shaft, and I kind of diverted it to come in here, but I kind of need to stick something on that path of all that air to catch more of it so it could come here, cool this room equally as that, because this room, it's not as well insulated, and the sun is there and stuff. So anyways, I need to do something to get this room cooler, because when it's this hot, it's uncomfortable to be in here. Rick Clapp says, drain my 8 keys worth of batteries into the grid over the last 2 days. Time to let the solar charge them and see how balanced they are. Ooh, there we go. I thought about doing that because that AC is running today. This last 2 days, I think it's been running like 24/7. It's crazy. So definitely gonna get to do videos on that. I got one video that I'm working on this week, and it's halfway done, like 70% done, but it's a collaboration with someone else. But their part should be easy. So yeah, it's gonna definitely come out at the end of this week. Probably being released on Friday, and it's having to do with that battery box there that you see it there. And I posted pictures. If you're following me on all my other accounts, social media accounts, you have seen it most likely. Let's see here. Well, what else are you guys saying? Chris High says, can't wait to start my own DIY build. Do it. What are you doing? Get started already. All right, let's see. I'm at work till 7 a.m. says Bruce. 10, 18 in Iowa. Oh, so I guess Iowa, it's only the far east coast that is 11. It starts getting lighter. Right here is so crazy. The sun's still out. Well, it's kind of going away. But I was like, I still got time. The sun's still out. I got, and then it's like, I checked. I'm like, what do you mean it's already 8? No. Jose Valiente is in Puerto Rico. It's really late in Puerto Rico. Philadelphia, off-grid in Washington. vent booster? I don't even know what that is. Yeah, what is that? I need one. If it's gonna get this room cooler, I'm down for that. Expect 97 tomorrow in Portland area. Australia Sunshine Coast. Question, what's the best 18650 large capacity battery and the safest on heat? I don't know if there's any safest on heat, but the best one is, where are they at? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hi. I gotta plug these. I gotta plug them because there's still a lot of them. Oh, wait a minute. This is not it. No, this is a fake one. Yeah, no, not this one. Oh, here we go. These right here. These are probably not the safest because they say danger. Do not use outside of battery pack. See that right there? But that means it's legit because this is a Sony VCT6. So 3,000 milliamp hours, about 20 amp continuous output. I built that box using them. That whole box right there's got 2 kilowatt hours worth of them. I haven't measured. I haven't weighed it to see how much it weighs, but should be 2.2, I think 2.2 kilowatt hours. Yeah, and it could do, well, it could do 20 amps. Yeah, I haven't tested. What is 20 amps on a 3? What is that? So how much can that put out? I mean, all the PCBs and everything that I put in there, it can withstand 5,000 watts, right? So 5 kilowatt continuous. But the batteries can do a lot more than that. So I don't know how safe these are when it comes to heating. I should probably do a test. Take it outside, put a torch to it, and I should compare them with other battery, right? Other popular batteries. Put them all together, torch them at the same time, and then just see which ones start going off, and then maybe repeat. Do 5 sessions, and if one cell of one brand, one model always goes off first and just takes off, then maybe that's some data that we can say it's useful, at the very least, anecdotal data of like 5 cycles or whatever. Then one cell is safer than the other. Yeah, that's a good video, man. That's a good video that I need to make. Good ideas, guys. I need to write it down because I forget them. Then tomorrow I'm like, what should I do with the video about? I do HVAC. What? Stefan Glorioso, you need to help me out here, man. What is ternary or Ternergy? Lithium battery is normal lithium ion battery? I don't know. You stumped me on that one. Your guess is as good as mine. Get an HC 5000 watt vent booster. What? Oh, not watt, but W vent booster. What is that? Really? $45? Best $45 you've ever spent? Oh my god. Okay. What? Yeah, so you already, I don't know the answer to that one. Michigan, I use vent booster that runs on a thermostat. To build confidence in your module kits, have you thought about conducting control short circuits to see all works okay? Thanks from Australia. So I did do a bunch of tests when I was developing the PCB kit, and the videos are out there, right? If you go, yeah, I think if you go into that playlist, did I? Maybe I didn't make them part of that playlist. I have to go look. There is quite a bit of tests that I did on camera, thermal tests and all stuff where I was pushing it as far as I could. And it did create a lot of confusion because people were now giving me, like suggestions on how to fix the overheating. And I was like, no, there's no overheating. Then you get like, this is rated at 1C. I'm pushing it like 2, 3, 4 Cs. I'm pushing it as far as I can to see where it's going to break down, Anything above, 2, 3 Cs, it's fine, it's acceptable. But they're like, no, you need to put fans, you need to do this stuff. And I'm like, you guys are missing the point, right? So they did create a bunch of confusion, but maybe I'm not good enough to explain what I was doing when I'm doing like a stress test, and if it's performing beyond the thing where I'm rating it, then you know, it's passing the test. But people we're not getting the videos we're showing of the thing not failing, basically. I mean, it was failing, but it was failing past the point where I was recommending, you know, past the point of 1C continuous. And so, yeah, definitely, I mean, yeah, definitely more testing would be great. It would be great to make like a whole box like this, and yeah, run a hard, do like whatever you need to do to try to get that thing to explode, or, you know, short it out, overheat it, do the stuff. And yeah, I think that it's probably coming. It is coming in the future. Let's see. Oklahoma here, 4 kilowatt solar setup, still stuck with 1,200 pounds of AGM batteries. Need to get lithium. Oh, there you go. Island Times is in the house. Welcome, Island Times. Richard Tail says the hoverboard wheel motor on top of the front wheel was the way to build an e-bike. Yes. For those of you who haven't seen that last video that I uploaded, that thing was amazing. I mean, it had so much power that... Yeah, I don't know if you could see it on the video. I don't even know if I recorded, but when he started doing it, like the wheels were like, the wheels were spinning on that e-bike, and we were like, what? And he's been using it for a while, so yeah, I think that's the way to go. I think that's the way that I'm gonna try and build that skateboard, right? Because I think that's the way to get more speed or more RPMs out of those motors. So that, you know, I'm going to do a test. I have a speed controller here, but this is a 24 volt. So I think I need a higher voltage one, you know, to be able to get the right speed. Well, not really, right? Because those are... Let me close the window here just 1 second. People might think I'm crazy talking to myself, you know, to my neighbors. Not that I care what my neighbors think about me. They probably, you know, they don't think much really high of me. Let's see. I think it's a texture. South Philly, make electric surfboard. That would be cool. Good late evening, says Hector Rivera. Yes, depending on where you're at, it is a late evening. How easy is it to regulate DC? I'd like to build a battery pack for all my audio gear. Well, it's not easy, or it's really hard. I don't know, depends, you know, depends what level. I mean, the thing is, like, a lot of people say, like, just get a DC to DC, you know, get the battery, who cares what voltage it is, you know, 3S, 4S, they're trying to do 12 volts with lithium ion cells, right, which is not good. And then they're just regulated with the DC, you know, and it's like, yeah, you could do that, but like, at what rate? Oh, I mean, I need 5,000 watts, you know, and then you're like, okay, that DC to DC is like, is this big and this expensive because they don't make it. Like, no one makes a 5,000 watt DC to DC, right? Like, it's a kind of specialized equipment, right? So, especially if you're gonna use it to, like, some people are like, well, you just do that for your inverter, you know, for your AC inverter. I'm like, okay, now you have two inverters, one just to regulate to 12 and then another to regulate to 120 or 240 or whatever. I go, that's kind of inefficient, you know. Like, you just get you know, lithium iron phosphate, and then you get the right voltage range for your equipment, for your 12 volt equipment, and that's better. So yeah, it's not hard. There's equipment that you can buy, but depending on the level of how much of it you want and for what voltages you want, it could be like really like not off the shelf equipment, right? Like something that you need to like modify, or something that you need to like make yourself, design and make yourself, which can be like really expensive. So yeah, that's why you gotta stay within certain standards and stuff, you know. Very new to all of this, and I don't know where to start. Where would you recommend for a beginner? Oh, get that book right there. DIY lithium batteries. How to build your own battery packs, right? That tells you a lot about batteries and how to build them, and you know, how to use them and stuff. And then there's DIY solar power. How to power everything from the sun. There's also the mobile solar power made easy by Will Prowse over there. That one also tells you a lot about, how to use, depending on, there's so many niche, you know, ways to use these products, right? I mean, power is power, electricity is electricity, and we all use it, but we all want to use it in very specific ways and stuff. So yeah, those 3 books right there should help you get started and just, start understanding some of the concepts and stuff. I am in Yemen, and I like your video on Powerwall. Jumaid, hope to do one like that in the house, because we have a huge problem with electricity, and it comes in 10 hours a day. Wow, only 10 hours a day. Yeah, I hope you do too. I hope you get some figured out so you can have electricity all the time. My new job, I work from 24 to 240 volts. What? The smoke replacement tool, it's extra cost. What is that? Can you create a video on replacing the BMS fuses with the suggested wire when they blow? I blown some on 2 boards that I just started assembling. Wait, what? Scott, which ones? On the BMS? Let me see the BMS. Are you talking about this BMS board and these fuses right here? Yeah, you shouldn't be blowing those out. So the early versions I was shipping, what was it, 30? Yeah, on the early versions I was doing 30 amp, so there's 2 of them, so that means it's 60 amp. Right, but they're not gonna blow at 60 amp. You could probably do 60 amps for, I don't know, like 20 minutes or something before, like, eventually they get too really hot and then they might blow. So now I'm doing 35 amp, right? And so that's 70 amp continuous, right? That it can do. And so again, yeah, you can run at that. But if you're blowing both of these, then that means you're running way, too much power through these boards. Again, I recommend you don't go past 50 amps per board, right? I've done the tests, the thermal tests and stuff, and they get toasty at 50 amps, right? So yeah, I'd say stay, within 50 or below. And then you can do spikes. Yeah, you can like turn on a thing, in rush, or run for a minute here, a minute there, or whatever, like higher levels than that. But try to stay, below 50 when you're running constant loads and continuous loads. Yeah, you must be doing Yeah, you might need a second board if that's what's happening, right? If the reason why though you're blowing those, it's because you're trying to run too much amperage through one of these, then just get a second one, install it. You can install it, in parallel. Now, you could install it right next to it and put, the things, but I would suggest you install it on the other side of the pack, right? So you remove power from one side, and then from the other side, then you get a more symmetrical, path of current through the pack, and then that is going to run your pack a lot better. So, yeah, when you have multiple of those, don't do them in the same place. Don't do them at the edge of the pack. If you're doing one, try to do it in the middle of the pack so that the current has, multiple but shorter pathways, and all the cells see a more even distributed, load. So yeah, those are ways of doing that, right? How much you love your Tesla? What happened to the Samba? The Samba's good. I was riding around in it this weekend. We went to the show. Yeah, the Samba's cool. I just bought some new metal for the front doors and then the back engine lid. So here's what's happening. I want my bus to have a good paint job, right? To be like, so all the metal in my bus is, it's wavy. It's 60 years old. It was the bus has been around. It was in some farm or something. So it's seen, and then it's seen, life, use. And then it's got shoddy work because someone else that bought it before me, they were trying to like flip it. They were trying to like just paint it so it looks, you know, okay from like, you know, 10 feet away. So anyways, I have to deal with all of that, but the reality of it is that all that metal that's wavy, unless I want to pay like top dollar for some metal craftsman that can come and take out all those dents and stuff, if I don't do that, then the painter, the guy that's going to do the body work on the bus, is just going to lather up some Bondo and filler, right? So I don't want that. I'm actually taking all the Bondo out, and so I'm replacing all those panels that are crunchy and they're too wavy and stuff, taking them out, and I'm gonna put brand new metal, right? Because now you can buy it. You can buy new metal pressed, you know, from, you know, the same way that it was in the original factory. So you can replace those parts. And so that's why I'm replacing, you know, all 4 of the cargo doors, the front doors at this point, like, and the back hatch. All the doors I'm replacing because they're bolt-on stuff, so you can bolt new ones, right? But I'm also doing some of the corners in the back that have too much Bondo and stuff. So yeah, the bus, there's love for the bus to go around. And I think this might be the year that might see some paint. So that's the reason why I don't paint it. That's one of the very top questions that I get on the summer. When are you going to paint it? When are you going to... People don't realize, like, if I want to paint it, I got like another 20 from, you know, from 6 months ago, I got like another $20,000 worth of like work that has to go in there before we can even think about shooting, you know, paint on it, right? Because it's not perfect. I don't know if you've seen it close, maybe from afar it looks okay, but if you see it close, yeah, there's a lot of shoddy work in there. And so we got to fix all that before we can. Yeah, it's like, you know, restoring a car it's not for the faint of heart, especially if you want to do it right. I mean, if you just want to, you know, if you just want to Mickey Mouse it, then yeah, you could also do that. Let's see what's happening. If one wanted to put HP power wall kits and use it in a solar battery, would you use the BMS that can be added to the stack or use a solar charger and relay? I don't know what a solar charger and relay. I mean, if you say a solar charge controller, which is a charger that is with sun, yeah, you got to use that anyways. Like a BMS, BMS is a safety device. As a BMS is not designed to cut your power, to be the switch to turn the power off from your charger. Don't do that. Like, get the right charger that will quit at the right voltage. This BMSs right here won't step in until your batteries are overcharged already, you know, slightly overcharged. It'll step in around 4.3 to maybe sometimes 4.4 volts, right? That's the point between, you know, being overcharged where they're kind of getting a little bit damaged, the cells, to like fire, right? Those points right there, and this thing steps right in between there, right before fire. So, and they're not programmable, right? So this is a safety unit, safety. This is not your controller. This is not your voltage controller at the top or at the bottom. And it also will do it at the bottom at like 2.5 volts or something like that. Also, that's way too low. If you're letting this do that continually, stop the charge and stop the discharge at the bottom, you're damaging yourself every cycle, right? So that's why these are not cutoff systems. I mean, they are cutoff systems, but emergency cutoff systems, safety cutoff systems, right? So you need the right charger and you need the right discharger to be able to use any of these batteries, including with my PCB kits or otherwise, right? So awesome book by Micah Toll. I got it half price on Amazon Kindle. There you go. Noe Lopez. Thank you for being a supporter of the channel. That's fine. That's random. Please do be more specific. Warner, I can't make candy jokes. Let's see. I work as a facilities maintenance from top to bottom with the exception of the conveyors, but I work on the breakers. Huh. What about LiPo 4? LiPo 4 is good, kind of expensive, kind of rare, but Tom does have headways right now. And in fact, I got a big load. I got a big order of them because I am going to do a large, format 12-volt battery for all of you guys that are asking that. A replacement, drop-in replacement battery. I'm trying to do it cheaper than the ones you can buy, right? Because usually 100 amp hours is like, $900, $1,000, $1,500, depending on. So I think I have the equipment. I think we can do it cheaper than that, right? So more affordably priced than that. All right. Let's see. Did you feel that heat today? Yes, I felt it. I am still feeling it. Let's see. What's going on here? It's hard for me to follow the things because I'm skipping so many of them, right? Because you guys were typing. Thank you for everything you're doing. You're creating education on insightful content and technology that pushes humanity forward. Oh, thank you for that. Some people appreciate it. Some people don't appreciate it. But I do appreciate the people who appreciate the effort. Awesome. We have Nap and that BMS is like drama for your mama. She's heavy, like a 57 Chevy. There you go. But it works. I've been testing it. Right? It's in the wall there. I'm discharged. So tonight, I should probably do it right now. I would do it right now, except that fan is really loud. So I gotta fix that. I gotta fix the fan because I can't have that just be blowing. You know what I mean? Like, so once I do that, but I am gonna put it once I leave this room. I'll turn the. And tomorrow when the heat is on and the AC is on, I'm going to turn that sucker on so it can discharge that battery. And I got to finish the second one so that I can then do twice. And then I can be doing like 1,500, 1,500. Well, that's all I could do, about 1,500 watts, right? Because that circuit right there is rated at 1,500. So I can't push too much back into that, right? So that's good. Let's see here. Hey Jay, can I hook up 2 solar panels in parallel and 1 in series to my 12-volt solar charger? I only have 3 panels. Well, you can, but you will be limited to the 1 panel because they are all connected in series. So if you have 2 panels in parallel, right, and so you're essentially doubling the power output of that, right? So they can do 5 amps. You put a second one in there, they might be able to do 10 amps. But then you're trying to squeeze all that through 1 panel that can only push 5 amps. Then, you might, I don't know what would happen. You might overheat that second panel. And I don't think you're not going to get 10 amps at the end, right? You're going to get double the voltage, but the same 5 amps out and stuff. So, try to, if you do that, you're gonna have to do it in a way that it's both of them are, they're not being constricted by by 1 panel. So you'd have to do 2 and 2. Can we connect power supply in parallel and series? So depends on the power supply. Some power supplies are isolated, and then you definitely can. I actually did some tests with that. I used some of these power computer supplies. I have a video about it too, where you'd have to disconnect the board, the AC side and the DC side. I think you have to disconnect it from the casing so that you don't short it out. And then once you float all that stuff, then you can connect them in series and double the voltage. And you could also connect them in parallel and then double your power. But you have to do that. You have to make sure they're isolated, or else you're gonna shorting out some stuff. Can you do a back to basic series for the new people? So I can, but it's really hard for me. because I would have to take time off of my current projects than to dedicate and do that, right? Because I'm not currently dealing with a lot of the basic stuff anymore, right? So this is a journey, just like for you guys. I'm going through the journey and I'm learning a lot of stuff. Except I'm sharing everything that I'm learning, and in fact, it's very apparent, like in the areas where I am ignorant, because I'm not afraid to just say stuff what I think it is, and a lot of the times I'm wrong, and so people call me out on the comments and stuff, and and that's one way to learn, that's one way to, like, you share it out there, you put it out there, people come back to you, and you see 10 guys come back and say, like, no, it's not how you said it, it's like this, then the likeliness of something, being so, it's higher. Then I can go and research that thing, and then so I'm learning as I'm going to. I'm totally not an expert, and I always say that, and people say that I shouldn't say that, but it is 100% true. I'm not an expert in this. I'm learning as I'm going, but I am in this one place now where I'm not really thinking too much about the basics, other than when I'm answering questions, right? And so the basic questions have gotten so out of control. The amount of them are getting so out of control that I have to literally make the decision to stop answering them, right? Because I would be there all day, and it's literally the same questions over and over, even though I have a lot of content that already is there, right? Maybe I haven't done the greatest putting it in an easy to find format or something, because sometimes I have trouble finding it. But definitely, yeah, I think it's possible. I just think I would have to get way more organized. I would have to probably get some help, because I am still kind of doing everything on my own. And yeah, if I wanted to keep going in the journey and learning and exploring the new projects that I'm doing, I definitely couldn't do both. I couldn't, like, then set up to do, like, this series of, like, basic stuff and experiments to show them. Yeah, so maybe it's in the future. It's just I don't know how far into the future. I'm looking to get some help pretty soon here. At least with the kits and stuff, I just recently got some help, so I'm not 100% doing this on my own. And my battery, look at that, my battery's about to go dead. Let me replace it. Take a short little break here, and then I'll come back, all right? This is a test of a Light-O-Color branded LG-HG2 cell. According to the spec sheet, this cell can do a maximum of 20 amp continuous and shouldn't go above 75 degrees Celsius in temperature. And just like that, with that little crack, the cell is damaged beyond repair. At 15 amp load, the cell reached a maximum temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, at which point the CID was triggered, and now the battery is open circuit. So that's how you kill a fake LG HG2 branded Light-O-Color cells. All right, and we're back with a brand new battery. Should last us for a few more hours. Okay, let's see what we got. Can you connect power supply in parallel and series? Oh, I already answered that one. Evangels, hide the weakest screams. Let's see. Check the Tornway battery monitors. Huh. I wonder what those are. Did you build a portable battery to charge a Tesla yet? Yes. I built. Okay, so I built one, but it's not exactly dedicated to charge a Tesla. But then I think in the future I will, we will show it at the very end, charging a Tesla, which will mean that it's better than any of these, available in the markets today. All these little battery systems that they sell for $1,000 or $2,000. This thing is gonna outperform all of those. But then I will make a dedicated one, right? And the dedicated one is going to be, it's going to try to be as useful in charging a Tesla as possible. Which means that in the size of a thing, it's going to be able to put that at a really fast rate. So what's the rate? 7.5 kilowatt rate. So that's what I'm trying to hit. 7.5? I won't be able to hit 7.5. I think I'm going to be able to do 5 kilowatt. 5 kilowatt. Which is what? Something like 10 miles per hour or something like that. Yeah, so, or 10 or more than that. I did the calculations, but I forgot. I think it was like 10 miles in half hour or something like that, right? So that was the target, I think, that I was going. And I think I'll be able to pull that off, but I just don't have the parts yet. They're on order. They're coming from China. And then, yeah, that's coming. But this week's video is going to be some related, but not exactly, you know. Oh, yeah, Randy, yeah, yes. You don't have to worry too much about what I say. Yeah, it's just kind of hard to tell if those are coming to me or someone else, you know. It's like, so I have to like start reading and I'm like, oh, that's not for me. Okay. Have you ever wondered if there was another person like Tesla, if that person existed, that the suits hide their work? I think there are a ton of really smart people in the world, you know, like geniuses or savants or whatever. And I think we just don't see them because it takes. Just think about this. If you know anything about Einstein, Einstein was a genius. But no one knew that he was, even he didn't know that he was a genius. He knew he was a smart guy, but no one knew. It was only out of circumstance that he was able to develop his talent in a way that then it allowed him to become the genius that we all know he was, right? Like he got a job at the patents office, and it was kind of slow, so he would have hours and hours on end time to himself to just sit there and think, right? Most of us would find that completely boring. But because he had a special brain, then he would use that time to think about the universe and about how things would work and stuff. And that's how he made all his, you know, most of his, you know, discoveries. They were done during that time that he would sit there and just think for hours. Right? And so had he not had that job, had someone else hired him and he was busy doing a thing or whatever, he would not have developed those skills in that way at that time. You know, maybe he would have later in life when he retired or something, but it would have been too late. Definitely he wouldn't have, you know, written so many papers and then had enough impact in the scientific society to have other peers check those papers and then eventually, you know, proven that these theories were correct, and or you know, or they had issues or whatever. Because not all of them were 100%, right? There's a lot of issues in some of the theories. So I think it's the same thing today. I think Tesla, you know, people, geniuses like Tesla are born in Kenya and, you know, India, for example, in rural places on Earth. You would never find out because they would excel at, you know, showing their dad how to run the farm really efficiently, right? That would be the limit of their talents, you know. Yeah, I mean, you need a lot of support to do great things. You know, no one man can do great things by themselves, so they need a whole system of, you know, people and, you know, things to get this done. And so they're not born in the right place at the right time, they're, you know, with the right support. Yeah, they just kind of go unnoticed. I think there are way more geniuses that we know about, and they just don't ever reach their potential, I think. How much battery per 1,000 pounds of vehicle weight for an EV conversion? So it largely depends, right? Teslas are at 250 watt hours per kilogram. So do the math there. How would you do that math? Oh my God, I'm not the right person to show you guys how to do math. But so what did we say? 250, right? So 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds, right? So yeah, so then you do 1,000 pounds, you divide that by 2.2, and then that's 454 kilograms, and you multiply that by 250 watts. So that's 113 kilowatt hours. 113 kilowatt hours per 1,000 pounds. That's where the Tesla batteries are at today. Of course, I think that's cell level. I think that doesn't include. I could be wrong, but I don't know if that includes packaging, because that box that they make, that casing, that weighs a lot, right? So yeah, maybe someone can cross-check that. I think the 85 kilowatt hour pack weighed in at 1,200 pounds. Yeah, I think, out of the top of my head, I think those are the numbers, right? So we could divide that and whatever. Do the math. Someone better than me do the math and then see if that's. Recently found him and love his content. Let's see. Grid-tie inverters can't run off grid. Well, no, they need a grid. You're right. That statement is 100% correct. But you could provide an off-grid grid. Wait. A microgrid. So you could provide a microgrid and they could run, so. But it is running on a grid, so you're right. The battery guy's battery died. It happens every stream. They can do what? You don't agree? Ever think of an intern? Yes, except I've been that road. I've had a company with a lot of employees, and I'm trying to do things different this way around, and I'm swinging a little too hard the other way, where I'm not hiring anyone until I can no longer go without them, right? And I think I'm there, right? So I just hired a couple people this past week to help me with those orders, because that's the reason why I haven't been making videos. It's because I've been processing orders. I didn't want to get there, and slowly I got myself back in there, and I'm like, let's see. I wouldn't mind buying blah, blah, blah. Episode where you make power without batteries or electricity. Could you recommend a reliable and safe removable lithium-ion battery holder for a portable weather station? Would you recommend it to be removable, or will joints heat up and soldering is the only choice? Oh, no, definitely not. I mean, you can design, in fact, you want to design your system so that each connection doesn't see a lot of power, right? Each cell, doesn't see more power than the thing can see. Because, 18650s are not, other than these guys here, right? This is as good as it gets. 20 amp. By the way, who can do the math? 20 amps on a 3 amp cell. What's the C rating on that? Well, you have to. Oh, that's easy, right? You have to divide 20 into 3. Oh my gosh. Okay, 20 into 3, or 3 into 20. So yeah. So this is a 6.5 C rated cell, but that's as good as they get in 18650. I think there's a couple LiPo 4 cells that are higher, right? So definitely you can't be running a ton of power on each of these cells, and that means on each one of those connectors. So my system that I designed like this with removable cells, this is a 1C system rated, right? Continuous output. So yeah, so basically you just would have to just add more and more in parallel to be able to reach your desired power level, right? And so, but I think if you're in a remote weather station or whatever, if you want your battery to last a very long time, more than an hour, then you'd have to do that anyways. You'd have to have a large enough battery that your continuous rate is 1/24th or 1/12th or whatever's a fraction of the total amount of time that you want it to last, right? And so at those rates, yeah, you're pulling very little off of each cell. And so, yeah, the problem where they're gonna overheat, and that's non-existent at that point, or very low chance of that happening, right? So, yeah, what is a portable weather station look like? What kind of power does that require? Do you know a supplier that is sending to Africa? I think Tom sends to a lot of countries around the world, but I know that there are some countries that are problematic, and I don't know at the top of my head which ones they are. I know the Middle East is problematic. I know like Saudi Arabia or something like that. Michael, I think Evie West told me that he hadn't been able to send anything. Most geniuses don't reach their potential because they're not capitalists. Yeah, maybe. It's 0.25 kilowatt per mil. Is that what it is? No, not 25 kilowatt per mil. I don't know what that means. I mean, you might be right, but I don't know. Have you thought about building an adapter to take an EV charger in and give standard AC socket out? Perhaps could be used with DC converter to charge lithium packs quickly. Wait, what? Okay, so you're saying thought about building an adapter to make an EV charger in and give standard AC power socket out. Yeah, someone built that. They built that for their e-bike. So they basically want to be able to charge on a level 2. Wait, not level 2. Well, yeah, I guess you could on level 2. So level 2, by the way, well, no, you can't. It has to be level 1. So you'd have to do level 1 because then that's 110. Well, no, it could be level 2 because a lot of our modern devices are smart switching power supplies, right? So they are designed to work here in the States at 120 volts AC, but also in Europe at 220 volts or 240 volts AC or something. So they can handle both, and they just, they detect the voltage coming in and they just adjust or whatever. So if that's the case, then yeah, you could actually make one of that level 2 or level 1. Because most of the EVSEs, most of those charging stations that are non-DC charging stations, then yeah, it's basically just it's a 120, single phase, or a 240 single phase or whatever. Yeah, you could do it. It's easy. All you need to do is have a little. So you just have to provide a pivot, like a line that has a certain frequency to wake up the EVSE, all right? And yeah, EV West sells the little chip. It's a simple little, $20 thing, and yeah, and then you can wake up any of the EVSEs, any of the charging stations and stuff to give you power out. I hate my job. I could hate my job in Cali. Very qualified for mindless, repetitive tasks. Yeah. Una pregunta: al frío 20 bajo cero en Minnesota, las baterías no se descargan rápido. He's asking about 20 below, if the cells will degrade. Yeah, las baterías de litio no les gusta el frío, así que tienen que calentarlas para usarlas. Yeah, of course we all know that lithium batteries don't like the cold, so you have to heat them up to be able to discharge them. Yeah, so I mean, there are ways to discharge them to deal with the cold heat. I know Tesla will just kind of limit the amount of power that they will give you until they heat up, batteries kind of heat up naturally. If you run them a little bit hard, they'll just, they'll create their own heat. And so you just have to like be basically not run them when they're frozen. And 20 below, it's below freezing. Does the newest Gerber file have the rounded corners? Oh, I don't know. I'd have to get back to you on that. I don't remember if I replaced it or not. But you should be able to download it, load it up on JLC PCB, and they have a viewer there. And so if you see that it's the sharp corners, then it's not. Let me know. I'll get to it. I'll get to it and upload it and stuff. I need to upload the BMS one too. I haven't had time to do that. It's been crazy. Schneider inverters do not need to grid to function. Oh yeah, there are such a thing as hybrid inverters. You should adjust your camera so the ceiling fan isn't in the shot. Reduce the moving background for YouTube compression. Oh, does it mess up? Does it? Yeah, the compression maybe. Let's see, here we go. Hopefully that's not gonna look funky. There you go. Okay, TG, thank you for your donation. It's highly appreciated. Oh my god, it just jumped. Leg back bike as please e-bike, that would be great. What? Make a $200 solar generator for people who don't have a lot of money. Yeah, I might be able to do that. Sort of like the old one that I did. So the problem is with the $200 inverter or solar generator is battery, right? For 200 bucks. I mean, you can buy battery, but not a lot of battery. Like all the little bits add up, right? So I think Tom has some good, like those flat batteries that he's gonna be able to sell like really cheap and stuff. And they have a built-in BMS already, that sort of stuff. So yeah, I might be able to do another, like an updated version of that first build that I did, and yeah, maybe you can keep it around 200 bucks. Visited Philippines many times. People there were trying to eat and survive. I showed up and had played with 12 volts, so gave away items for my ex-family. They didn't have the same hobbies as me. Yeah, it's hard to think about the bigger picture in life, and yeah, our conversation must seem so stupid to people that are just trying to make ends meet, find the next meal. In Africa people don't have access to water. Think about that. we use water to flush our feces down the toilet. These people don't have access to water. They need. Yeah, we don't even know what it is to be thirsty, like to go thirsty. And so, some of these geniuses could be down there. I mean, it's like they have to because of the numbers of people, right? Like statistically, they have to exist down there. There's so many people down there. There's so many people in India. There's so many people in China that they have to be geniuses. Except, they're too busy trying to find the next meal. How much battery to push 1,000 pounds a bus down the road? Okay, I could actually figure that out. Just, okay, so my bus uses 200 watts. It's average of 200 watts, right? 200 watts, 200 amps, right? Going down the road at 60 miles an hour. So 200 amps times 111, that's the nominal voltage of the battery. So that's about 22.2 kilowatt, right? So that's 22.2, okay, and my bus weighs 3,200 pounds. So, wait, what are we trying to figure out? 1,000 pounds, you said? Okay, so 1,000 pounds So that, okay, so let's just say 3,000. So you have to divide that into 3. So 22.2 divided by 3. It's not exactly, but you know. So 7.5 kilowatt, right? So 7.5 kilowatt. So, you know, let's say that you're using this system. I don't recommend you use this on e-cars, e-bike, or, you know, electric cars, but let's say that this was rated for an e-car and you were using a 1C system. That means you would need at least 7.5 kilowatts of batteries to push the power needed to move 1,000 pounds of vehicle down the road. If it was, you know, roughly shaped about what my bus is shaped, yeah, but if it's 1/3 the weight, maybe that would have to. So those are the variances that are the variables that are hard to predict for me, that I don't know, you know, higher level math. So someone could figure. I know that someone could take those known numbers and then they could very closely, you know, figure out what it be. But I think it's like that. Now, of course, this one, of course, right? What did we say? 6C rated, right? So if you were putting the battery together differently, then basically you would need 1 kilowatt 1 kilowatt hour of these to be able to move 1,000 pounds. Of course, you won't do it for very long, right? You will do it. Wait, so what's 1 kilowatt? How many of those batteries? Those are 3 times 3.7, 11. Yeah, so if you do, wow, so 90 of these cells, 90 of these cells will be able to push 1,000 pounds down the road. That's crazy, huh? They are pretty impressive cells. And it's so Ableton, that's really hard to do. I'm building a small sort of setup and it's already over $400 even with good deals and some free stuff. Yes, all the little stuff adds up. Tell more about the solar charger trailer. So I don't know much. I wish I could have found the guy to build it, but it was kind of a hectic show, and you know, I couldn't find out whose trailer it was. I want to know. I want to see the batteries. I want to see the inverter. I wanted to know why the thing said 100 volts AC when obviously it was charging at 200 volts, level 2, our Tesla, right? So, yeah, so many questions. So many questions, not enough answers, as always is the case. Maybe I'll get to do a dedicated video on that one, and then we'll totally go and geek out on the specs and the thing, and you know, what he would do wrong, like what we do different, if you have to redo it again, you know, that whole stuff. I also had a small solar panel on the Davis weather station. Oh, Lars, did you... oh, Lars, my Davis weather station running a few capacitors and a C33 rechargeable. Oh, man. So much stuff that I don't know what that is. For the weather station, we'll use an ESP8266 for the microcontroller with an I2C capable temp and humidity sensors. I was wondering to use 1860 to power. Uses 3.3 volts with 13 milliamp max draw at the pins. Oh my god. Okay, so these are very, very, very small devices. Yeah, you should be able to use a couple of batteries, right? A couple of cells. And then 13 milliamp. I mean, that's at 3.3. It's not even at the full cell level voltage. At the cell voltage. Where can I get that shirt? Oh, go to the underneath the videos here. There's a merch shelf. It's called. You can get all these shirts that I wear on there and stuff. Yeah, you should be able to see it. I know I couldn't see it for a long time, but I think now I see it all the time. So something happened. 250 watts per mile. 250 watts per mile. Let's see. 1.5 gigawatts. I'm talking about the fuses built into the bottom of the power wall PCB right before the ribbon cable. Oh, those. Okay. All right. Okay, so Scott, you're talking about that fuse. Yes, I have blown. Yeah, in fact, all those boards over there. You see those? Do you see those on the floor over there? I blew all those. I was doing something dumb and I blew all those up and they were instant. And then I was like, oh man, now I gotta change the thing. So it's very annoying. It's very annoying. But here's the thing. You want it to be annoying because you want to stop making the mistake you made to blow them. Okay? So what you need to do is you have to figure out why they blew. So if you know, then it's okay, right? And so you just have to not do that anymore. So by the way, I stopped shipping the 4 amp fuses. Now I'm shipping 5 amp fuses because of that. I just want a little bit more headroom for you guys to make a mistake and not blow them on inrush currents, right? So, you know, if you were making a small pack and then you're connecting a big inverter, there's gonna be a huge inrush current that could potentially, you know, blow all those fuses, right? But if it has a 5 amp, then it's gonna be less likely to, you know. But then also that's gonna allow you to run much higher currents off of each board, much more than, you know, 2 Cs, right? And so then, you know, your pins are going to be higher likely to start melting, you know, if you're running much more power. So you obviously don't want, so definitely I wish I could have those fuses removable. I looked into it. They're not easy to do for the average person to install the little holders, and they're really expensive too, the holders for those fuses. But I think once I figure out how to have someone like in China, for example, populate the boards, then definitely I will go and you know, use the little holders for those fuses so that you can pop them in. If you blow them out, you just remove them. It's still gonna not be easy, right? But because you'd have to go in through every board and remove the little thing with tweezers and then put the other one in there. But definitely a lot. You definitely wouldn't have to, you know, disassemble the battery pack like you would, I think, if you had to. Well, maybe not. Maybe you can get to them without disassembling. I haven't done it. They're just sitting there, and you know, yeah, I should do it. I should do it. In fact, that reminds me, let's do a giveaway. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Oh man, I don't know. Oh no, I just broke something. Whoops. Whoops. My wife's not gonna like that. But she's not here, so don't tell her. Do not tell her, guys. Do not tell her. Okay, these boxes contain all. Oh my God! Look, my wife is calling. Okay. Oh. Hello. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, give me that. Yeah. 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 Yeah, and by the way, I might have cracked something in the garage that might be yours or not, but I'm not sure. I haven't looked. It sounded like something broke. Some piece of glass or something. But the guys made me do it, so it's their fault. I'm live right now, actually. I'm talking on the phone. You're live. Yeah. They made me do it. Okay. Bye. Wow. Well, she didn't yell at me, so. Anyways, what was I saying? Wait. So, okay, here's what happened. I had a spring cleaning. So my office is very messy here, despite of what it looks like in the camera thing, right? It's very messy in here. There's a ton of stuff everywhere. too much stuff. So I gather all the boards that previous generations. I have like a full thing that I use for a picture with like first generation boards. Wait, is it? Or is it still there? Yeah, I think I did. So then I put all that stuff and I put it in boxes here. This one and that one, they're like, it's mixed. There's just a bunch of stuff. It's all populated. Some has, broken or blown fuses. Some, have little issues here and there. Or, there's a few of one version. And then I was like trying to build a thing. And so anyways, I took detailed pictures of this stuff and I was going to post it and like put a price. And then someone could buy it or whatever that didn't have enough money to buy the thing. But it's too much work. So these are like mystery boxes. Who wants them? If you guys want them, what should I do? Because maybe not all of you guys want them. Maybe you're... Okay, maybe I should have you like... Yeah, what should I do? Let's see. What should I do? Okay. Yeah, but then that's not going to happen right now. So I thought maybe I can have you post a comment at the end of the stream when this video ends. Because see, the thing is, if you posted it, well, I guess I could just pick a random one, right? Okay, if you want that, if you want a chance to win that, just post your name. Like this Emilio Ochoa, he would put Emilio Ochoa. Like this guy, King Pickle, then he would put King Pickle. Whatever your screen name is, type in that right now. And then later, like, I'll go through the thing and be like, okay, so-and-so just wanted, I'll just pick it at random, just from the stuff or whatever. That way, I can see if you're not interested in winning those, then don't do that, right? So that I can not consider your name or whatever. Because I realize not everyone might be interested in winning a mystery box of trash. It's not trash, but I know maybe someone is interested. Someone doesn't have enough money to buy the kids and just want to mess them around, or you don't have the time to put them. Something definitely can be built, and there's quite a bit of it there. I stuffed those boxes as packed jam as I could. So anyways, yeah, we'll do that. And of course, I just basically made this thing, this thread like unreadable now because there's no questions. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you here's a chance to, if I didn't get to your question earlier, also put your question there because it's gonna be easy to get when it's a bunch of names and then your question is gonna, it's easy to be read. How far away are you from the Lazy Man's double-sided board? And how do you plan on stopping the Chinese copycats when it's done? Wait, how far are you from the Lazy Man's double-sided board? What's the Lazy Man's double-sided board? Huh. Did you see? I mean, I kind of did the double-sided boards already. Where are they? It's right here. Right? This latest project has that. But I don't know if that's what you mean. I don't know if you're saying this is the... So anyways, these are kind of working, and I think it's offset. So whatever you save in the extra board, right, and one less board, then you pay in extra expense for these holders, because these holders are more expensive. Now, of course, they can do more power out, right? These contacts are much better. The metal is better. So it's actually more expensive this way, even though it uses half the boards. So even though you save the price, so it's definitely, so maybe it's the Lazy Man, but it's not the poor man's the poor man's version. And then how am I gonna stop I don't care. Like, China could do them. I don't know. It's a dumb idea. It's just a board with battery holders on it. Like, there's nothing, groundbreaking about it. My first mission is to spread ideas, right? Share ideas. If I have an idea, and if I throw it out there, and if it's good, it'll stick. If it's a bad idea, it's not gonna stick, right? So if you guys go, and by the way, I offer all these stuff. I offer the links to my sources where I'm buying all this stuff. So, anyone could actually buy all this stuff without me in the middle, right? So this open source project, you can take this files, and I wish I knew more about these files. I would literally go more into detail how to make them available, but because I had to use help, then I can't really do much, right? So I'm thankful to the level of work and effort that Justin Kenny has done in putting these together, right? He's gone above and beyond designing. Some of this design features in here are his, not everything is mine here. So he did the layout, but he also even picked some of these components that I didn't think about, and he goes, what if we use these for that thing or whatever, and I thought, that's a great idea, let's do it. So yeah, I wish I knew more, and I wish I could make those files available at the FreeCAD software, so that anyone could really take them and manipulate them as they want, and I'm not giving up. I think that's coming. It's just I'm not there yet. So yeah, I don't worry about other people taking it. They could do whatever they want with it. It's like also I don't have to worry about it because I have audience, that whatever, if I need to sell them, like right now where I need to sell them, I can outsell anyone else. I mean, not everyone, but I think most people that would want to, because the audience knows me. Like the people who are interested in this super niche thing to do, they're already watching me and stuff, right? So even if someone takes my design and they try to compete with me about it, they're never gonna win. At least not for the time being. Maybe that's gonna be different in the future, But I mean, if someone else, a big corporation, takes it and runs with it, go for it. I don't care. I'm moving to the next thing anyways. I'm already looking for the next thing. This is temporary. Some blown fuses used in autos turn on a light. Yeah, that's a cool feature. Okay, let's see. Woo, okay, so there's quite a bit of you. Okay. All right, I'd say we stop doing the names now so that we can just, I can just go in that section and then click on the thing there, right? Okay. What makes lithium batteries degrade? Well, there are a bunch of articles that say dendrites. Well, no, dendrites, I guess. I think I've read some articles where they say it's like expansion, thermal expansion of all the components, right? The graphite. And so what happens is that it degrades, the pores degrade on the graphite, and so then the ions are not able to intercalate. And so that's why you lose capacity every cycle. So it happens. It's a normal thing that just happens. It degrades every single cycle, right? From the very first one. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but essentially they're pretty simple. And of course, there's nothing simple. Everything's simple and complicated at the same time. You can dig in there and get real technical, but you would have to know a little bit of physics, I think, and a lot of chemistry and stuff. And yeah, essentially, I think a battery is kind of a mechanical thing. I know it's a chemical process, right? But it's kind of a mechanical thing where the ions go from one side to the other, one anode to the other, anode. And so, yeah, they degrade, and so they really can't travel back and forth. And you can't, depending on how much of those ions can go to one side, then that determines how much capacity the battery has. And then at the speed of which they can be pushed back and forth, and that's what determines the power output of the cell, right? And so, yeah, so it's when they can figure out how to not have that degrade for whatever reason it is, if it's thermal base or whatever, then then they're gonna be able to make batteries that last longer. What are the best cells that you would recommend for an electric motorcycle? I've been looking for the SPIM 08 HP 200 amp LiPo cells. You think these would be my best bet for 10 kilowatt for range? I need 10. So I, I guess I have to put them on to compare them. Like, I haven't checked what the price. I know their price good, right? I don't know what the price per kilowatt hour is, but I do know they're not the most dense, right? So when you're like a motorcycle, you need a small battery pack. You can't have a giant battery pack, right? Because then you end up with a motorcycle like the guy was showing me at the show this weekend. You know, that guy has 8 kilowatt hours on a giant battery box, and it only gives them like 30 miles, right? And so it's not great, right? So he's got lithium iron phosphate. So I think those SPIM might be close to that. I know that on that box right there, I could only fit 1.2 kilowatt hours. But I think if I were to use like these guys, for example, then I can do like 3.5 kilowatts or something like that. I think I was doing. So these definitely are the most energy dense that still have, you know, 6.5 C power output. So yeah, for a motorcycle, definitely these are the best. And that's the reason why these came out of the Alta off-road motorcycle factory, right? So these are destined to be in off-road motorcycles. But because that company went, you know, bankrupt or got bought out by someone or whatever, then we have access to them. So yeah, these are the best ones for, you know, if your bike needs sort of the same performance as a off-road motorcycle, then these are it. If you need a little bit less performance, then I would say the Panasonics would be better. So the Panasonics were phased out of that design because they would get too hot at that level of performance that they needed, so then they jumped into these. So these are a little bit less energy dense but more power dense, right? So can you do a video of the best budget inverters? You know, I will be able to do that pretty soon because I seem to be collecting inverters. 12 volts, 24 volts. I don't have 48 volt yet, so I guess maybe that's gonna be my thing. Oh, wait a minute, did I order a 48 volt? I might have ordered the one that is destined to charge a Tesla at 48 volt. So, because now 5 kilowatt, it's up there, right? So unless I want big giant cables, 48 volts, it's the way to go, right? I might just have ordered my first 48 volt inverter. Lane position or right, huh? An e-bike. Yeah, I gotta do an e-bike. Pre-populated, all done manufactured in China. He's calling your PCB boards lazy. Oh, I see. The lazy mans because... Oh, I see. Because you don't want to... Yeah, well, there's still quite a bit of work. You'll be surprised. There's not lazy about putting them... battery together with them. It's definitely just different work, I think. The wife was watching. I think she was just being nice. Pre-manufactured, just pop in the cells. Lazy man. Okay, I get it. See, where can we buy the cheap battery in Europe? So there are several places in Europe, right? Man, I'm not. So there's a couple of them, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Elcon, something like that. I don't know. I can't. I never shopped there, so. Oh, let's see. Let's show this. What do you think about this battery meter? Let's click on that. Thank you for your answer. Oh, that's a good one. The IST Badgo BG-8S. Yeah, that's a good one. I have some in here. I use them. We're talking about this little guys here. So that's a cool battery meter. I tried to balance a battery pack back in the day, and I made a video about it, and it didn't do that good of a job. But I think it doesn't do a good job on a single string of batteries, so it needs more. It burns more power, you know, than there was available on those cells. But because when I do it on big battery cells like this, it takes a long time, but it eventually does get them close to being balanced. So it does work. You know, it just didn't work for that one particular test that I did. Yeah, it's a good thing, and you can buy it for $30 here on Amazon. It's a cool thing. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Yes, 24-volt budget inverter review. There's no cheap good ones I can find. What is the earliest memory of your first invention as a kid? Ooh, what did I do as a kid? I remember being fascinated by lights. I grew up in kind of a rural area that didn't have a lot of... Yeah, we didn't have electricity growing up, so there wasn't a lot of lights. You know, by the time... So, yeah, so the first 5 years of my life, there's no electricity, right? So the nights were dark. And then I think around that time, 5 or 6 years or something, then the utility then put a light pole next in our neighborhood, and so then all of a sudden the neighbors had Christmas lights. And one of my earliest memories is just being mesmerized by these lights. I'm like, what in the world is that? Like, multicolor lights. You know, I was like, what? I remember not knowing what they were and just, you know, like being blown away by Christmas lights. They weren't even the blinking type, okay? This was like so this was in the 80s. 1980, I think. 81, 82 maybe. And they were the big, you remember those big ones that looked like a chili, you know, they were round and they were big and they were like red and green and all the colors, right? Those were the ones that they had. And yeah, so that's as far as I can remember. Let's see here. For $60, I got 100 Gervierial. Oh man, I know. Going to have you try to... yeah, I don't know which one are those. I don't know. Oh, so 2120s? 2120s? 2170s. Oh, you know, 2170s might be better for your e-bike, but they're definitely very expensive still and kind of hard to get, especially legit ones. I know a lot of them that you might find online might say they're like Samsungs, but they might not be, right? Because they're really hard to get. I think we're getting some. I think depending on how fast we can move these, we might have an opportunity to then take that money that, you know, that it's an investment on these guys right now, and then use that to get a chance to get into. But, you know, it just depends how fast we can move these. If these kind of linger on for another 6 months, I think we're going to miss out on a lot of battery batches that are available to us just because we won't have the money to buy them. So, yeah. That's why I'm trying to push them. I'm like, hey, buy these. So we can buy more batteries that are better or different at the very least. I suggest refunding them and doing literally anything else. Even used cells will be better. I want to know what is lithium anyways? Is it like dirt out of the ground? What exactly is that stuff? So lithium, a lot of people have the misconception that the batteries have lithium metal, which is really dangerous. It's one of these metals that is super light, but it self-combusts with the oxygen, or once you get it to burn, it's hard to put it out, right? Lithium batteries do not have lithium metal. Lithium ion batteries have lithium salts, and it's an electrolyte, right? And it's basically a salt. They get it from the ocean. They get it from those, you know, they let the seawater just evaporate, and then the salt that stays there, they extract it out of that. And so it's, you know, we're not going to run out of it. There's tons of it in the planet. It's non-toxic. You know, there's other stuff that can be toxic in the batteries or considered toxic, but it's, yeah, definitely not like people make it out to be. So if you really look at it that way, yes, it's dirt. At least it's an element that is found in dirt, the dirt that is left after you evaporate the seawater. uh, so let me see. Did they burn your Christmas tree down? No, they didn't. I'm in an air compressor power LED light super loud. Okay. I'm chili. 4 Mexican Christmas lights. There you go. And by the way, those used to use a lot of power. I bet you if we find some, I bet we can probably find some on eBay or a secondhand store and stuff, right? And then we measure the power output of those things. I bet you they consume 20 watts per light. I bet you it's crazy. Maybe you know where it's possible to get a 70 millimeter tube shielded cables for good price. Best to be maybe China, shop in Europe. What's 70 millimeter tube? I don't know what size that is. But yeah, it's weird because I just order everything on Amazon these days. EV West has good cable. Wait, you need shielded? Oh, you need shielded cable. Yeah, EV West sells shielded cable. Yeah, you can't buy that on Amazon and stuff. Yeah, you'd have to. That's the only place I would think to recommend and check. If I don't know if they have that size, the 70 millimeter. What is 70 millimeter? Isn't that like kind of big? Let's see. Will you be shipping those cells overseas? No, I can't ship stuff overseas. And not personally. EV West does, and Tom Ammerman at batteryhookups.com, he ships batteries internationally. So yeah, if you, there's a good chance that they can ship to your country. So yeah, you just have to go over there and place an order, and then they'll tell you. I think their card's smart where it won't let you purchase it, or it'll tell you if you can't ship them to or whatever. Because they work really hard in getting tied into the system, the shipper systems and stuff, so that would happen. Any recommendations on a good 4,000 plus watt pure sine wave inverter? 36 volts. 36 volts? That's a weird. I never seen a 36 volt inverter go that high, other than the Chinese stuff. And I don't know how good those things are. I actually haven't burnt an inverter yet. I haven't used them too extensively, so maybe that's why. But either that, or maybe I just picked the right ones. How's been your experience? How many of you have burnt cheap Chinese inverters? Cobalt is needed for the battery. I think they're phasing cobalt out. They're changing the chemistry slightly. I think cobalt allows them to have energy density in the battery, I think. And of course, cobalt is just one of the metals that they are mixing in the cathode. So yeah, they're phasing it out. I think pretty soon, I mean, today's batteries, 18650 batteries, are using much less than these batteries. Where are they? Oh man, I had 11-year-old batteries here that are brand new. Those have way more cobalt than these guys, right? But definitely. All right. Let me take a quick little break here, and then I'll come back and we'll pick the winner, and then we'll call it a night. And then we'll do the thing. Let's see. This is a test of a Litocala branded LG-HG2 cell. According to the spec sheet, this cell can do a maximum of 20 amp continuous and shouldn't go above 75 degrees Celsius in temperature.
And just like that, with that little crack, the cell is damaged beyond repair. At 15 amp load, the cell reached a maximum temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, at which point the CID was triggered, and now the battery is open circuit. So that's how you kill a fake LG-HG2 branded Lido-Color cells. Today I'm going to show you how to build this electric skateboard. As you know, electric skateboards are a thing now. They've been a thing for a while. There's the expensive ones, there's the cheap ones, and everything in between. But there's a new breed of electric skateboards. They're off-road, and you got a glimpse of one of them last time I was in New York, and I got to meet Vitaly, which runs the Portable Electric Vehicles channel on YouTube. He built himself this beast of an electric skateboard that supposedly does about 55 miles per hour, which is just insane. So I thought I would show you how I would build one on the cheap, using off-the-shelf parts to keep the build simple. So let's get started. All right, let's not get started. Let's get finishing here. Let's get ready to finish. I missed it too. What was the giveaway? Oh, we're giving out 2 mystery boxes. Mystery boxes. So they just have like a bunch of these pre-populated PCB boards, but you know, from all kinds of like different versions of it. Some might have like a blown fuse. Some might have the connector in the wrong spot, you know, like on the wrong side, you know, stuff like that, you know. But there's also like a bunch of them that are perfectly good. It's just they're first generation, right? So because, you know, I can't be building a thing with those, because most of the people that are ordering these are now on the later generation. So if I build a thing with those, most people are going to be like, well, that doesn't apply to us, or you know, so it's not going to be as relevant, right? So that's why we're doing those. But a lot of you guys might be interested in getting those, so I'm just going to give them away for free, and to whoever wins some. So let me pick a winner here. Where is the section of the thing where you guys put the thing there? Okay, here we go. Neil Legant. Wait. No, wait. No, he didn't put the thing. He said nice thanks. Unless he wants it. Neil, do you want it? Do you want one of these boxes? Let's wait till he answers. Is Neil still with us? Neil. Where is Neil? You won. Let's wait for a little bit. Random stuff that's possibly built wrong and could blow me up. Yes. Yes. Possibly blow you up. Woo, guess what? What'll blow up contest. There we go. Look at that. Neil's not getting back to us. He's not paying attention right now. Is it pet food in those? There you go. He's not answering. Where is Neil? Neil. Going once, twice, on to the next person. Whoa, the Avant O'Neill? No, but not, no, this is a different Neil. Where's the other Neil? 24 volt times 2 equals, what did you say? Rest in peace. He's gone. I think he is gone. All right, just don't tell him. Okay, so I'm gonna pick another name. Just don't tell him. Be nice and don't tell him next time. He won't ever know that he won. Okay, let's pick another name here. Okay, boom. Caleb Spencer. Caleb, are you in with us still? Ooh, pizza expert. Wait, we have a pizza expert with us? From Pizza Expert channel. Pizza expert? Wait, I forgot when was the what was this, the second one? Hold on. Did I started reading the comments and I didn't. Oh man, I can't do. Okay, here we go. So that I don't forget, I'll put the name here. Caleb, woo! There we go. He's in the house. Caleb is in the house. He won one of the boxes. I'm not even gonna tell you which one. It's gonna be completely random. I don't even know which one you want. Okay, let's pick another winner. Okay, here we go. Come on. Come on, random. Randomize. Okay, here we go, here we go. Okay, Andre Paulas. Okay, is Andre with us? Hopefully I'm not butchering your name too much. The fake Caleb, I'm the real one. Alrighty. Andrej? How do you pronounce that? Anyone knows how to pronounce Andrej? Andrej? Oh man, I'm terrible. I can't pronounce those names. No, he's not here. How come he's not answering? Oh, there we go. Yes, he's here. All right. Andre, sorry, how do you say your name? And Caleb, email me at jehu@jack35. Email your address, and then I'll send you those boxes. That's my email right there. I read a lot of those. I read most of those emails. I just don't answer all of them because there's a lot of them that I get. But just say I won on the thing on the live stream, and bam, I'll send you the boxes. And I could probably, yeah, it'll probably happen tomorrow because now I got someone that's helping me ship stuff. So, you know, I don't have to do it myself. Because I've done in the past where I'll give stuff and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'll ship that. And, you know, a week goes by and I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get that out. Oh. I hated doing giveaways because then I'd have to ship stuff. And I'm like, I can't sit here like figure out what's the best shipping, you know, do all that stuff. But it's changing. I'm getting help now these days, so hopefully it's gonna go a lot smoother from here on, and I could get some answer more of your questions. So hopefully I want to work my way out so I can do the one-on-ones, because there's a ton of people that are reaching out to me that they're like, hey, you know, I'm trying to do this thing, and I go to the thing and you don't have any sessions available. And that's true. I haven't been doing it for a couple months now. It's just, it got crazy busy for a little while, so crazy that I just can't, you know, I don't have an hour a day to like be doing a thing. Yeah, but hopefully now that I'm delegating some of these tasks now, it'll be better, and I'll be able to create much better content. Cause yeah, my videos are, yeah, they're lacking these days, and I'm not happy about it. I want to do better videos. I should be doing good videos these days. Only good videos, not just mediocre and then a good one every once in a while. So that's the plan. That's what we're gonna do. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for all your questions. Do join our Facebook group, Jehu's DIY Powerwall on Facebook, so that we can share your projects. I know you guys are working on projects, because I'm shipping a lot of battery kits and you guys are building stuff. So share those projects with us. We want to see them. We want to see, how you're doing all that stuff, and then you'll inspire other people also to start doing it, right? So let's do that. Keep busy building stuff and learning stuff, and then we should all be better for doing all that. Thank you for all your support. Thank you to all my patrons. Thank you to all the people that support the channel in this live chat. They have that special, like Random Randy here is a channel member. I think that's what they call him, member? I think it's a member. God, I gotta learn all this stuff. But anyways, he has joined the channel there. There's a join button on the bottom. And, him and, I want to say there's like another 20 people. I got to look at that list of that. And thank you if you're in that list within those that have decided to join. That helps the channel and stuff. Okay. Thank you for all that. We'll see you next week. And stay tuned for Friday. I will have a video. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. At the very least, entertaining, I think. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's entertaining. You guys like batteries, so it's going to be entertaining. So, all right. Thank you. Lopez Noe, thank you for being, joining a member of the channel. Okay, good night. We'll see you guys. This is a test of a Litokala branded LG-HG2 cell. According to the spec sheet, this cell can do a maximum of 20 amp continuous and shouldn't go above 75 degrees Celsius in temperature. And just like that, with that little crack, the cell is damaged beyond repair. At 15 amp load, this cell reached a maximum temperature of 100 degrees Celsius. at which point the CID was triggered, and now the battery is open circuit. So that's how you kill a fake LG HG2 branded light-o-color cells. Today I'm gonna show you how to build this electric skateboard. As you know, electric skateboards are a thing now. They've been a thing for a while. There's the expensive ones, there's the cheap ones, and everything in between. But there's a new breed of electric skateboards. They're off-road, and you got a glimpse of one of them last time I was in New York, and I got to meet Vitaly, which runs the Portable Electric Vehicles channel on YouTube. He built himself this beast of an electric skateboard that supposedly does about 55 miles per hour, which is just insane. So I thought I would show you how I would build one on the cheap, using off-the-shelf parts to keep the build simple. So let's get started. Let's go do some donuts. If you're interested in more technical details on this build, please visit Austin's YouTube channel called Wawa. Also, if you're interested in lithium batteries for your projects, check out batteryhookups.com, the sponsor of this video. They have a huge inventory of different types of lithium batteries at really great prices. So you want to build a DIY Powerwall. I'll show you how to do one. Using these as batteries and these as your inverter, you can build a small DIY Powerwall. Let's get going. You ever wonder what people think about our electric conversions? See the reactions on this 70s Porsche 911.
The one that, yeah, that's good one for me, yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Fuck yes. In a Porsche. Fuck yes.
So around 2010, we started seeing